Welcome to Alert Tales, your destination for powerful, real-life stories that inspire, challenge, and resonate. If you're drawn to heartfelt tales that spark emotion and ignite conversation, you've found your place. Subscribe now and become part of a community that celebrates the human experience, one unforgettable story at a time. My wife has ruined my life, and I let it happen. I've been with my wife since I was a teenager, married for 15 years with 2 kids. I wish I could go back and be the man I am today, the one who would have left when we were dating because I knew deep down I wasn't in love. I was just too gutless to leave. I was weak and she was domineering. I was afraid of having the conversation. I didn't know how to approach it, so I just stayed. Back then, I was young. I didn't know what a healthy relationship should look like. She's never bought me a gift, she's never surprised me, she's not spontaneous, she's not independent. She's never lusted after me, she's never been romantic or loving. She's never initiated sex, nor wants it. The countless rejections made me feel like a creep for wanting sex. It's not her fault, but these are things I've finally admitted to myself I've always wanted, but convinced myself I didn't need, or were just fairy tales. A romanticized idea of a relationship you see in movies, and reality is different. And as I get older and look at what's left in this marriage, it's not enough for me. All the while I kept thinking, this year it'll all turn around. Her health would improve. She'd get on top of her depression, her anxiety, she'd get a job, she'd be a partner and help around the house. Over time she has been diagnosed with CPTSD, ADHD, and most recently autism. This year she booked a colonoscopy on our 15th wedding anniversary that she forgot about anyway. She forgot my birthday. Her weight is ballooning. Her health issues are catching up with her. She barely does anything but watch TV shows and play on her phone. I've offered countless times to walk with her. Over time I learned to keep my mouth shut because she turns it around onto me, pressuring her. I'm used to being alone, but it feels so much harder now that I have given up. I checked out of this marriage 5 years ago. I realized nothing would ever change. I had to stop thinking it would and start looking out for myself. It took a long time to not feel guilty, to muster up the courage to admit it to myself. It's been a long 5 years of grieving over the marriage, over her, over the life I missed out on by being the rock for her, for being her comfort, for not being truthful to myself. I am not in love with her, I love our kids, and she is as good a mom as she can be. But I am at a point where I don't want to just be an emotional support husband. I am starved for intimacy, starved for affection, starved for intellectual and emotional interaction. I do most of the household chores. I cook, I tidy, I work, I take the kids places. Now I don't ask her not because I know she won't come, but because I don't want to be seen with her. I don't enjoy her company. Her health issues have given me carer's fatigue. I see her more as a child I need to look after than a partner, and I have long since stopped being attracted to her, something I communicated with her a few years ago. She only wears pajamas unless she has to leave the house. She has made no attempt to address our sex life, my dissatisfaction. We have had several serious conversations which have become more blunt since, but she still seems to carry on every day as if these conversations about how unhappy I am will all just go away. I don't think she thinks it's as serious as it is, or she is just used to me not being strong enough to leave. She can't exist without me. She is terrified of me leaving, and to be honest, I have no financial means to leave. I want to divorce, but I don't know what will happen if I do. I'm deeply unhappy. I'm alone. We don't fight. Every day is just another day going through the motions. I just want more. I wanted more. I crave physical touch. I crave a partner. I'm jealous of other people. Writing this out is daunting. It feels like the tip of the iceberg. I deserve more, surely. I deserve someone who wants to look after themselves, not only for themselves but for me too. I was willing to stay, to work on it. I was always attracted to her. I loved her. The years of problems and isolation I feel in this marriage has forced me to really look at it honestly. And once I saw it from an objective, unbiased viewpoint, I realized I was the fool. It's not her fault that she feels entitled to my unwavering support. I'm not sure what I'm trying to say. This was hard to write. It feels too big to even attempt to boil down into words. I deserve more, surely. I deserve someone who wants to look after themselves, not only for themselves but for me too. I was willing to stay, to work on it. I was always attracted to her. I loved her. The years of problems and isolation I feel in this marriage has forced me to really look at it honestly, and once I saw it from an objective, unbiased viewpoint, I realized I was the fool. It's not her fault that she feels entitled to my unwavering support. I'm not sure what I'm trying to say. This was hard to write. It feels too big to even attempt to boil down into words.